Hello and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Friday, February the 22nd. My name is Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal for my commentary on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, though, we are here to teach you some different strategies that you can then implement into your portfolios, but please do that in your own way. Also, remember, past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, having that out of the way, let's get it on with our economic data. Across the pond, not so much there. And we come back here to the United States and donut for the most part here as well. The only thing that we really have to look forward to is just about every Fed governor for the FOMC is speaking today. As a matter of fact, Williams is speaking twice. He spoke speaking right about now, and then again at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But we got Quarles, Barkley, Bernard. So everybody pretty much speaking across the board at some point in time today. All right, and I believe there's even Draghi is even speaking with right now. So everybody's talking about the economic picture that could give us a little bit of clarity as to what they're all thinking. So that is what we will probably be trading on, is some of that Fed governor speech snippets, if you will. But anyway, let's get on to the overall markets. I don't think it's all going to affect us right now, but throughout the day it really could. But crude oil moving a little bit higher today. You know, yesterday was looking a little toppy. I thought we were going to roll over, start heading back down to the mid, 50s, mid to lower 50s. Doesn't seem to be the case. It really seems hell bent on trying to break through the Fibonacci extension here and get back up into the value area, which I think the value area should start migrating a little bit down, especially with the economic picture we're starting to see. Not necessarily robust economic picture. We're starting to see some kind of chinks in the armor in certain aspects of the economy across the pond, where we're seeing maybe some recessionary signs. It's not confirmed. We haven't seen it happen or reoccur enough in order to make that kind of prediction. But, that being said, a recessionary kind of term would send crude oil down, or just a lack of, the economy firing on all cylinders. All right, gold futures trying to make a little bit of a rebound after erasing pretty much all of their rally from the past couple of days, all in one day. Today, we're getting a bit of a bounce here. Now, remember, I was short the GLD from that toppy pattern yesterday. We got the big move down. I was looking to cover that. Squeezed probably a little bit too much out of it yesterday. I think it was 25 bid at 30 for the most part, or for the better part of the day. I figured wait one day and what could really go wrong. Well, we started getting this move higher. And basically yesterday I was working a 20-cent bid all day. So today, moved that in. Before the open, I was working a 23-cent bid. And once the market started rallying, I ended up covering that trade. So I'm out of the GLD. Give me a second here. Let me pull it up. So we're out of the GLD 129 calls. So yeah, it was in it was in the March, and I had sold the 129 calls in there. I can't really remember right offhand what I paid for those trades, but with GLD, or sold those for GLD, I sold those 129s for 42 cents, 62 cents. Bought those back for 25 cents today on that move, 26 cents, sorry. And market started moving up and away right off the open. So I was one of the first traders in there. That's it for GLD. I guess I pulled that chart up a little bit earlier. We'll talk about that here again. I don't know why I got so ahead of myself. Bonds starting to move higher again today. Not a whole lot of room to move too much higher. I think, a rally higher means that they are lowering interest rates, and I don't see them lowering interest rates in 2019. I think that we're going to sit here and wait and see if the market starts picking up a little bit more steam with interest rates remaining the same. We've got the VIX. It's off. We lost those 15s, but I would expect hopefully we'll see those in the near term, in the near future, because I don't really expect this market to continue this type of trajectory, or especially even this steep of a trajectory. I would expect us to see more pullbacks and a little bit more volatility heading into the market as we try to discern, and everybody starts placing their bets as to whether the economy is going to do well or if we are going to go into a recession. So a lot of people are coming up with these assumptions right now because the outlook is a little vague. So people are going to be starting to place bets, which could really create more volatility. We got the NASDAQ moving higher by about 41 points. Really not a whole lot to see here. It is pretty stuck right here. We made some big moves back and forth in equities, but we just really aren't going anywhere right now because every day we get a rally, we seem to get the pullback, and then we get the pullback and we get a next day rally. So markets are all over the place right now. We got the E-mini S&Ps moving higher as well. Obviously why we're seeing the VIX come off as well. Not a whole lot of attempt to flush out some of these longs in the overnight inventory, which is, usually something the markets try to do. There was a weak attempt to flush those guys out. And since the open market operations happening during the day session, we've started to see this bit of a rally and no real attempt to flush those guys out. So we could continue to see this bullishness throughout the day, because that's usually a sign that when they don't try to flush those bears out, that we're going to kind of trickle higher. As you can see here with GLD, this is the trade that I had done yesterday, flushed down. I did get a little bit of theta decay and volatility contraction, which helped me out with this strategy. Remember, I sold the, the March, sold the March 129 calls in there, which I said I sold for originally 62 cents. Bought those back. Oh, I'm sorry. I bought those back for 28 cents this morning. So out of that trade, a little bit better than 50% of my max profit. I was really squeezing it out for even more of that. I thought we were really going to come back down. But today, with that move higher, I decided to pull the trigger. 50% of my max profit was my target on these type of trades, and was able to get out quickly this morning. And that's it. I haven't added anything today as of right now. Still looking at a couple of trades, went through all my charts. It's just really hard for me right now with my market assumption to have a little bit of a pullback. And going back to the point of control on some of these, I might be adding the EA Sports trade to the downside that we talked about in the webinar. I haven't made a decision on that, but based on today's big move, I feel like I kind of missed that. We were talking about putting this on up here. Would have been a very nice trade today, to be quite honest, but may have missed this downside move and settled down in and around here. So really trying to play that out. I talked about putting that trade on earlier on in the week, if you guys remember, but I didn't want to necessarily do it before the webinar and front run everybody and be that kind of guy. So I was going to wait till today to enter this trade if I was going to, and it may have already happened. So I may stay away from that. We'll have to see. It depends on how bored I get maybe, or how this kind of market get a little bit of a bounce higher. I might start adding that. So I'm still looking at that trade that we talked about yesterday in the webinar. So if you haven't seen that webinar, go to protraderstrategies.com and sign up for that. I go through and lay out essentials to success, basically a checklist of what you need to have in order to set up this strategy in and around any underlying. So go check that out at protraderstrategies.com. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. If you can't take that, take it easy.